Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know.
Shoes are or feet are one of the most common fetishes. Like of the.
I don't get that one. I so don't
I don't
I
just
follow a girl on Instagram who does
okay.
like daily like dirty
Shit.
videos,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to pay to be part of her Instagram or her Snapchat. I don't pay. I was gifted a membership by her. She's like, yeah,
She
you
was just
should.
like, honestly, you just need to see me naked, Kyle.
That's literally what happened. And
Do we
so
know who this gal is?
yeah, and so every now and then I look and it's just like, what? Why are this is all feet? It's all feet today? Come on. Yesterday we were outdoors masturbating, and the day before there was like bunny ears and a butt plug, and today
It's feet.
it's feet.
It's 2018 though. I think that out of all of the fetishes, all of the things that I know people do, feet are just weird. They're not gross. There are so many gross things that I've had the misfortune of coming across on my many years on the internet.
Yeah.
Feet people are the most vocal ones. Like for whatever reason, you go, well, what's your fetish? And then somebody will always go, but he likes feet. Like, why is the feet so high up on the list here?
I think I don't know that it's that high. I think maybe they're just not as ashamed as they probably should be of their kink. Because it's first of all, it's not that bad, right? Like some girls have
Right.
cute feet. Like I could definitely differentiate between cute feet and like gross feet or whatever. And
Everybody
like,
knows what nasty feet look like.
and like I would suck a girl's toes. I have sucked a girl's toes before. I'll stick them in my mouth if they're clean. Like yeah, this will be
No.
fun. Yeah, I've had a girl suck my toes. It feels really good. Like shockingly good. It's literally like 50% as good as her sucking your dick. If she's it feels good. It's kind of ticklish.
It's not bad
And,
when a dog licks your toes. Put some peanut butter on there. See what's up.
Moving on. I'm pretty sure that's a
See-
crime in at least 8 states.
Like the feet fetish thing. Like, I don't judge it. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't
But
judge.
like, if a girl has like, if it's something a girl's into and she makes sure they're clean, like
You know what,
exactly
fuck it.
right before, and she's like, "I want to suck your toes or something." I'm like, "Yeah, sure." If you
No,
want that,
no,
I'll do that. As long as I watch you use soap and water first,
No,
and
no.
then I will carry you
Girls.
and not let you touch my fucking floor.
I've known lesbian girls specifically that their thing was they liked licking dirty feet of
Now that I will not abide.
of other girls, and I was like, how dirty? And she's like, filth. She's like, the dirtier the better.
That honestly sounds like a
That's disgusting.
submissive. That
Like-
sounds like a submissive thing.
It is. It absolutely is. She's
Well,
like,
then be submissive a different way. Get tied up like an adult.
Yeah, but
she would walk around for days barefoot in the grocery store, out in her yard. Like she'd step in gross things on purpose, and then she'd be like, clean them. And I'd have to lick them till they were just shining and perfect and pink. And I was just like, that's great. That's great. It's awesome.
no, that's what I'm like. See, oh, I thought that maybe it would be like a little like sucking toes are just like mini dicks on your feet when you think about it. So that in that regard,
Someone put that against like an inspirational poster background.
Like sucking tiny penises on your feet.
I mean, yeah. So I can kind of get like sucking your.
Gay.
Oh no.
Toe sucking gay. What if you're sucking a lady's toes? They're not a lady, right?
Yes, sucking toes isn't gay. It's just confusing. Deep down, I don't think I have an idea. Taylor, I don't hear anything you're saying.
Sorry, I muted myself. I was trying to find other weird, fucked up sexual shit, and I've been watching a lot of this guy's content named Mr. Medicare recently. He is hilarious. He's to thank for the pause loads discussion we had like a few months back. And he does this series on deviant art. And I'm not an artiste, and so I didn't really know anything about deviant art. But apparently it's not just a place where people make art. It's like weird ass fucking sexual fetishes, like adult diapers, like
Hold
people
on.
wearing
Can
like
I say? All right.
Yeah.
When I was in 4th grade, and I have not heard this name before or since then. When I was in 4th grade, this friend of mine in my class wanted to be an artist, and she was the first person that ever told me about anime. Right, and she was drawing some shit, and I'm like, "What is this? This is not a human." She's like, "No, dude, it's anime." I was like, "Okay, cool." She's like, I'm an artist. You should check out my DeviantArt profile. So on the school computer, I go to deviantart.com, and then she tells me I know her name, so I just search her name, not her like screen name, and like 50% of the images was just like just really crudely drawn porn. And I'm sitting there in the computer lab in 4th grade, looking around, realizing that like this is all not where I want to be. So I like close out and I ask her, I was like, is this wrong? She's like, no, that's totally the website. Never went back, have not heard about DeviantArt literally until now again.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's still around is wild.
If you're looking for a hoot, look up Mr. Mediker's channel, and he's got a whole series on DeviantArt shit, and it's hysterical. But one of the there's a fetish called vor.
I know about this.
VORE.
VORE.
Like as in like I guess
carnivore.
like voracious or something. Like,
yeah, like
carnivore, like what you eat.
Yes.
Carnivore, omnivore, yeah. And it's a fetish about eating people or being eaten by people. I watched one of his videos about like a giantess thing where it's like a bunch of what he described as manlets, a manlet fetish of, wanting to be wanting women to be like 30 feet tall and like step on you.
Yeah.
And like weird, just odd things. Like the kind of thing that like you'll read it and be like, what the fuck? And I've got a paragraph here on vor, or a couple paragraphs I could read
it
from DeviantArt. And to really drive it home, you need to know that when people are reading this and writing it, more likely than not, they're masturbating the entire time.
So
this isn't for fun.
Should we be?
You're welcome to.
Okay.
I haven't stopped yet.
You better get it done before that
I
whiskey
knew
dick
you were
sets in.
slouching for a reason. You were just like...
Yeah.
Right. That's why I
So-
have this posture.
So here is this one is called a new technique on DeviantArt under vor.
Oh, boy.
So what am I learning today? Sakura asked as she followed Tsunade into her office.
Oh, no.
Oh, you'll see, Tsunade replied, licking her lips. They saw Shizune waiting outside Tsunade's office door. They're ready, Lady Tsunade, Shizune said, bowing her head. What's ready? Sakura asked, confused. Like I said, Tsunade said, leading her inside. You'll see. It's written by a Japanese guy, so that's why some of this is fucked.
Also,
they came
this
inside,
is
greeted
terrible,
by...
right?
Yeah, I'm really trying. I'm like having to translate this in real time. They came inside, greeted by an odd sight. There were 2 men on the desk, arms and legs tied together. Their mouths were gagged, and they were dressed in nothing but underwear. Lady Tsunade, Sakura was even more confused now. What is this? Who are they? She asked, spitting out both questions. This is a new technique I'm going to show you, Tsunade answered, walking over to the desk. She picked up the larger man by the back of his neck, holding him in the front of her face. And these 2 are dinner, she said, smiling, not waiting for Sakura's reply. She shoved the man's whole head into her mouth, her lips closing on his neck. She swallowed, her mouth widening over his shoulders. She grabbed her meal by the waist, using it to push him in. She swallowed again, reaching his chest. With another swallow, she pulled in his stomach. Taking a large gulp, her mouth slid over his waist. Seeing Sakura stare at her with a mix of shock and horror, she swallowed again, pulling in his knees. As her stomach began to expand, she swallowed his shins, reaching his feet. Finally, she made the last swallow, forcing him down. Tsunade let her groaning stomach hang out, reaching about 3 feet ahead of her. With a loud belch, she turned to face her student. So, hick, what do you think? She asked, rubbing her belly. You, Sakura couldn't seem to get her mind around this.
Everybody's like, I'm gonna nut!
Even the Sakura not liking it. Sakura couldn't seem to get her mind around this. Her mentor, who had just swallowed a man whole, the outline in her stomach showed her it had actually happened. Then again, so did the stomach itself. I wouldn't worry about him, Tsunade said, grabbing the other one. These 2 are on death row anyway.
What a weird,
How does he have access
writing.
death row inmates for consumption?
I didn't read this whole thing first. I just scanned it to make sure it was what I thought it was. She said, these 2 are on death row anyway, she said, pushing the second one's head into her mouth. A few minutes later, he's going for 2. A few minutes later, Tsunade felt the feet slide down her throat, her belly expanding to nearly 6 feet. She let her stomach settle before turning to her still dumbfounded student. Sorry, she said, patting her stomach. That last one was for you, she chuckled, rubbing her shifting belly. What? Sakura shrieked, jumping back. I guess I can call for another. I doubt you can stomach 2 already, she said, stepping out for a moment to tell Shizune. In a few minutes, she returned, carrying a new man with her. She placed him down in front of Sakura, stepping back. Go on, eat him, she encouraged. Sakura nodded, taking him by the shoulders. She forced his head into her mouth, shocked as her jaw moved to encompass his head.
I'd be shocked too.
Oh, yeah. With a swallow, she surprised even more as her mouth went around his shoulders. With a little more confidence, she swallowed again, pulling in his chest. Gripping him by the waist, Sakura wolfed down his stomach, pushing him even faster. With another swallow, she took in his waist. As her mouth moved over his waist, she swallowed again, reaching the thighs. She took a large gulp, pulling in the knees, and then reached his ankles. Like her mentor, she quickly swallowed, forcing the man down into her belly. Leaning her head back, letting her massive stomach hang out, reaching about 3 feet ahead of her, the man's outline clear in her flesh. Wow, Sakura gasped in shocking delight.
How long is this thing? When do you nut?
This is a chapter 4.
This is part 1 of 62. Wow, Sakura gasped in shocked delight. I ate him alive. She grabbed her belly, feeling over the huge orb of flesh. Looks like it, Tsunade said, her stomach beginning to churn loudly. You should go home, she said, going back to her desk. He's going to take a while to digest. Sakura nodded, walking to the door. A few hours later, she was at her home, sitting on her bed. Her stomach was somewhat smaller than earlier, but still massive. Sakura was on the phone, calling Naruto. Yeah, he picked up.
What?
Hey, I just learned to
Wait, this is a Naruto fucking... This is a Naruto...
Tucker seems to know about Naruto.
This is a Naruto fucking vor fanfic. I was like, why do all these names sound so familiar?
See, I don't recognize. I just thought they were all Japanese names, but I've heard of Naruto before. So I guess. So Sakura was on the phone calling Naruto. Yeah, he picked up. Hey, I just learned a new technique, Sakura said excitedly. All right, when can I see it? Naruto asked. Oh, she said, patting her gut. How about you come over? I want to show you after dinner.
This is the girl that was.
That is degenerate as fuck. Who even thinks to masturbate to something like that?
This is so wrong. First, it's so fantastical.
Nobody's tits were out.
No, there were no titties, and it's so fantastical as well to imagine that. I'm picturing tiny men. Like I'm trying to envision
these are real people.
Yeah, right. How do you?
That's Sakura.
Consume a whole man, you know, I'm just
gonna type in 4 on DeviantArt. I should have not done that without search.
So when you said that's
Literotica has so much crazy stuff.
They're not.
A lot of these are like animal people eating each other. There's some Pokemon doing it. A mermaid being eaten by her alligator friend.
Yeah, Chiz is saying that over on Literotica, there's a lot more of these very similar fan fiction. And for those of you who don't know, Literotica.com has, I don't know how many dirty stories on it, thousands, tens of thousands, and the categories alone will shock you. Okay, there are stories about every weird thing that you can imagine happening between human beings and sort of human beings and animals and aliens and plants. If you wanted to find a story about a plant raping a man right now, I guarantee it's on Literotica. I guarantee there's a story about a plant raping a man on Literotica.
I don't doubt it.
I'm a little bummed that
I've never been to